All right. Today, you're just gonna take a trip with me out to the natural state, baby. You know what I mean? Arkansas, Arkansas. Let's get her done today. This is a lot of miles that I'm about to put down for this video, and there's a lot that's got to be said. And I think y'all are really gonna enjoy this video in particular. Come with me to Arkansas.
Came out of smoke with a flame in my chest. Southwest sun sitting heavy on my neck. Every mile I rode carved the line in the map. Now the whole damn state know the legend is back.
All right. Today is the 16th of August, 2026. That means it's Sunday. I just finished a pre-trip, which means that I'm gonna start out early and get down to this shipper, but I want to wash my coffee cup out first and then use the restroom and then get on the road. Y'all know, if y'all watched the video that dropped today, I had a new fleet manager. I'm gonna try to have a conversation with him and see if I can get these miles up to where I want them to be, to where I'm remaining competitive with my peers. And if you watched the video, which I'm gonna link the card up here if you have not watched it, where I speak about remaining competitive. And it doesn't always mean being competitive with your peer group or people around you. Sometimes it can just be competitive with yourself and making sure you make yourself better, right? Me, I'm just all around competitive. I want to be better than what I was last week. I want to be better than my peer group, who we are in competition with, but we're also in healthy competition, so that we can make sure, the company that we're working for is successful. And therefore, if the company's successful, it trickles down to us.
Before the summer's over, here's a party song. There's just a few more weeks we don't got long. Who cares about the humidity of the night? This block party's got us on the rise. So tonight is our night. We're gonna dance and make plans to have this little salsa happen again. I heard the drums stomp and saw kids flood the street. Fire hydrants bursting, joy skipping in bare feet. The heat from the city, those lights so alive, started flowing through my veins like the beat in overdrive. Before the summer's over, here's a party song. There's just a few more weeks we don't got long. Who cares about the humidity?
All right, so I offloaded this morning. It is currently 09:32. I've been here since last night, honestly, and started around 0700 as far as like checking in and all of that. And I'm so happy. I saw two of the other creators that I watch. I forget the name of the other guy, white guy, older individual. I'll probably put his name in this video too if I find it again. But I've only seen like two of his other videos, and I like him. And then the other was Truckerhood, and they were going over like just having people that bother you on the road, right? And sometimes myself as well, I can have almost a short fuse and want to do something immediately when something goes wrong, right? And this morning we're checking in. We all figured out when the other arrived here. Like, all right, you got here at 7, I got here at 8, da 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 da. Right, so let's get in order. We figured that I got here before another dude, but some type of way he still wormed his way ahead of me. And I'm still sitting here waiting to get my next dispatch. I haven't gotten it yet, but he's nowhere to be found, So my enemy this week is myself and my miles, right? And one of my homeboys and I we were talking before, dropping off this morning, standing outside of the truck till we got our assignments, and we pulled into where we had to pull into. And he was mentioning to me how you have to stand up for yourself, right? You have a working relationship with your fleet managers. You have a working relationship with your entire dispatch, right? And even though the term manager is there, they still work alongside you. You're still a team. So you still have the authority and the ability to run your ideas past them and jockey for yourself. Right. So we all know, and I'm trying to keep it above the or around the 2,500 mile mark. I haven't said anything yet today, but I do still plan on having that conversation. I want to see first what this dispatch is going to be when I receive the dispatch. If you remember a previous video, I'm going to put the card up here where I said, if you are not for you, right? If I'm not for myself, then who will be for me? Sometimes you have to make sure you keep yourself competitive. That's how you keep yourself mentally, your mental fortitude high. And mental fortitude is part of your strength, right? It's not just physical strength, it's your mental strength. That's how you keep your skill level extremely high, right? You have to be competitive. You have to always think of things in a competitive mindset. It's not that you're always competing with somebody. It's not that you're always trying to bring somebody else down. It's not that you're always trying to be above another person, but you're keeping your skill set high. One of the big things that we learn coming up is that the strongest survive, right? You want to be amongst the strongest, and no matter what you're doing, whether it's trucking, whether it's competitive fishing, whether it's friggin' competitive basket weaving, I don't care. Right? You don't want to be the person with the Midwest dad energy who's outside of his porch watching a friggin' EF5 barrel down on him, and then he's got a friggin' RIP 1968 to friggin' 1968 to 2026 on some news channel somewhere, or Ryan Hall's channel or something like that when it comes to deaths during a severe weather event. You don't want to be that guy. Starts here. Being able to think ahead. Hopefully all of that makes sense. So next stop, right? That's the theme of this week. The theme of this week is remaining competitive, being ahead of the game. We all hear how Michael Jordan would be, or Kobe rather, Kobe would be in the gym before everybody else, right? But then you have people like Dennis Rodman who can show up late, and that talent is still there. But you cannot put Dennis Rodman in the same conversation as Kobe. You cannot put Dennis Rodman in the same conversation as Michael, who apparently sucked at basketball at first, and he put his everything into making sure he leveled up his skill set. So that's where I'm at, putting my everything into making sure I level up my skill set. And that's why I'm here early. That's why last week I was 7 miles away from where I needed to be early. So use this as words of encouragement to even you 20-year drivers that may be watching me. Good morning. Good morning. Here we go. Yeah, buddy, we spent the night over in Salado, Texas. So we went from having, hanging out at the rail yard, to picking up parts to take to another rail yard. Without the longshoremen, without truckers, without rail, who knows where this place would be, right? Logistics. But yeah, it's calm, and we got a little bit of severe weather that we're expecting. But from what I'm hearing, it's supposed to be like a nocturnal threat. So for where I'm going right now, so y'all already know how I get down when it comes to severe weather and nocturnal threats. and well, severe weather threats, period. I'm in that sucker and I'm out. I'm dropping off and I'm gone. So to prepare for tomorrow, I'm getting on that road. I'm hitting it. I'm gonna drop tomorrow as early as I can, pick up as early as I can, and I'm out of the area. This is the unique part about this rest area. I'll be telling y'all, everybody like to act like this is rare. This is the eagle shape. I mean, this is obviously an older way of it happening, but you look for that spread eagle shape when you're looking at radar, you have a hook. Yeah, you always got to know what area you're in and the potential when you're out on this road. So, good morning. One of the biggest things, know the area, know the potential, what you can run into, your hazards, all of your hazards, not just your road hazards. And stay safe out here. All right, so we're gonna hit a quick story. Yesterday I picked up the parts that I just showed you. And what the plan was, what the plan is for me to deliver this is currently Tuesday, tomorrow, which is a Wednesday. And I had the ability to get it there today before it closed. Well, no, around the time that it closed. I had the ability to get it there today around the time that they were gonna stop accepting. So if everything went right and we didn't have to worry about traffic and Dallas and stuff like that, get it there around 13:30, probably 1400. Now, dealing with Dallas and Waco, it would have more than likely been after 1400 anyway, right? But I would have had to stop last night north of Waco in order for me to make it happen. And I'm on the phone with one of my homeboys. My homeboy is like, yo, it took me 6 hours to get loaded. I'm not pushing it, not today. And I felt myself starting to get a little fatigued anyway. And to the point where this is before I was even on the phone with him, right? Feel myself starting to get a little fatigued. And I see 130 come up because I'm not going to go through Austin. I already know, I already dealt with San Antonio traffic. So if I'm not going to go through Austin, I'm going to take 130 and go around and save that time. Even though it adds about 5 miles and it's got tolls, but let's make this happen. Let's go around. I could do this. What made me know I needed to pull over is when I saw I was on 45 out of Kyle, taking it to 130. And I saw the sign for 130. And I was about to get off. I was like, no, 45 takes you straight to 130 north. Why am I getting off the exit? And I looked at the exit sign that said 130 south to go towards San Antonio. And I corrected the mistake. I didn't get off the exit. And I was like, nah. So when I got here to Salado, I was like, let me rinse my face. I can still make it north of Waco. Waco ain't that far. I got out of that truck. I went in that bathroom. I looked at how red my eyes were. I was like, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. And I played it safe. I make sure I'm safe. Make sure I make it back to my family. And we're here. We're here. The important part is not to play superhero for nobody. Make sure you're safe, make sure the people around you are safe, make sure you extend your career out. So let's go ahead, get this coffee started, and get this pre-trip knocked out as well. So I have two bags that I choose from. I have this one and I have this one. This right here. This is what my dog looks like first off. That's why I chose it. But this is my this is my emergency bag right here. This is like I need some pep in my step. I need to be up and moving right now. This gives me like a nervous condition. This will have me pinging for like 3 days. This will literally have me talking like I'm moving at like 60 miles an hour on a freaking 12-mile-per-hour street, right? Awkward movements. Otherwise legal and slow, but not for the appropriate time. Anyways, I got a funny story about Black Rifle Coffee too. I'll tell you here in a bit. Let me get this done. And then we're going to get something to eat at the same time. So, I had somebody I used to work alongside with, a old professional, what's the word, I'm an associate, right? And he comes up to me one day. Mind you, he's from Pakistan. And he is used to chai. So we're getting lost in translation already. He comes up to me. He says, "Yo, let me get some coffee, and help me stay up. It's late at night. We're on the job site, and working hard." He said, "I need something to help me, stay up." It's like, all right. So I go inside and I start making coffee. Right, mind you, I'm kind of running this job site, give or take. Right, I go inside and I put my best foot forward. And he didn't have access to the inside, so that's why he asked me to do it. So I put my best foot forward, and I wanted to make sure. I'm like, all right, we get along. This seems like a cool cat. I don't want to just give him anything, so I make myself a little bit first, and I taste it, and I make sure it's actually exceptional. Right, not like what I'm making myself right now, which is just gonna be all right, with what I have. And I bring it outside, and he like loves it. He's like, "Oh, thank you so much. It's so good. Thank you." Ain't no problem. Later that day, we leave. We get back later the next evening, and he's like, "Hey man, like whatever you gave me yesterday, like I don't need no more of that. Like I went home, I wasn't able to sleep, and I had to be back tonight." He said, "But is there anything else that you could give me that could help just a little bit this time?" It's like, yeah. So mind you, I had given him Black Rifle, and I think I gave it. Was it the black? I think it was Black Rifle. No, it wasn't even Black Rifle. I gave him Death Wish coffee. If you know anything about Death Wish coffee, and I gave him like the Death Wish coffee. I show up. I'm like, yeah, I got you. A little bit, right? Yeah, a little bit. I show up. If you know anything about Rippets, he cracks it open, downs that whole can of Rippets. Later that night, homie gets back, and he's pissed at this point. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? You all right?" He said, "No," and just like stormed past me. Chai is really just tea, and tea has just a tad bit of caffeine. It ain't got the amount that coffee has in it. So for him, chai was just enough to take that edge of like I'm exhausted off, I guess, because that's what his body is used to as far as caffeine. My mans, when I got back, He was all jittery and kind of shaking. When he calmed down, he came and spoke to me. He's like, "Hey, let me tell you." He said, "We have chai. I don't know what you gave him." I was like, "No, that was actually like coffee. Like that was coffee. He's like, "I don't need any more of that. Like we drink chai. We drink chai." Well, now I'm glad you figured out how to describe it to me, because I don't know about that. That little cup wouldn't have done nothing for me, you know. And he like buzzing, yo, like ugh. You would have thought he had some Peruvian, Colombian, something or another. Uncut, pure white as rice. You know, but rest stop time. The Alabama Welcome Center. See how small Mushu is in comparison to everybody else? Oh, that's a fucking gorgeous load over there. Yeah. I want to know how much old dude is getting paid to run this one right here. Yes, sir. All right, so I have my pre-plan for tomorrow. I got it as I was driving and starting to cross the border into Arkansas. Just hopped out of Texarkana. I'm probably almost 10 miles into Arkansas. Hit the welcome area. This is not an entrance, so let me go back around the building. So I'm just gonna use the restroom real quick. I think I'm gonna try to do like another hour down the road, see if I can get to a pilot, because I still have to do my 30-minute break. The goal for right now is just to get as close as I can, because there's no parking up to where I gotta go tomorrow.
I'm a small town boy inside a big city. No more bonfires, we're shutting the block down gritty. We're gonna make it happen tonight. It's our night, and there ain't another soul inside. The only thing I see in this moment so true is me and you intertwined as the rhythm pulls us through. The music's really pumping, the crowd's got heat. We'll sing to the groove, and we don't miss a beat. Before the summer's over, here's a party song. There's just a few more weeks, we don't got long. Who cares about the humidity of the night? This block party's got us on the rise. So tonight is our night. We're gonna dance and make plans to have this little salsa happen again. I heard the drums thumping, saw kids flood the street. Fire hydrants bursting, joy skipping in bare feet. The heat from the city, those lights so alive, started flowing through my veins like the beat in overdrive.
By the way, this coffee is not the best coffee. I done already spilled it out the cup. Let's see, but it's some strong coffee. Them old women in there knew what they was doing. I'm gonna keep the coffee. It don't taste good, but boy, oh boy, let's get it. I think that man's truck is smoking right next. I slept like complete and utter trash last night. The truck next to me is the loudest idle I've ever freaking heard in my year and a half that I've been out here on this daggone road. Or up there, -1 reefer. Anyways, today's the day. It does feel kind of humid out here. The conditions that I'm looking at as far as the weather, it is completely 100% conditional. So certain things have to line up in order for Arkansas to be hit by anything hard, right? But it still don't mean that I'm gonna be out here playing. issue right now. It is so humid. There's steam coming up off of the ground or whatever, right? So right now, I'm where I need to be. We got the cloud cover coming over. I'm hoping that's going to keep the peak heating down throughout the day, and we don't really have to expect anything until later tonight. We've already got wind pushing in, which I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm going to think that's an outflow boundary from a storm that's probably north of me right now. With that being said, it may be enough to get some stuff started here. So let's hurry up. What I'm going to have to do is actually screen record and show what the radar is possibly looking like right now as well, because I have no clue. All I know is I've already checked AccuWeather, and AccuWeather said storms in the afternoon. So, but the cloud cover right now is probably what's saving this area from being so overly hot that we have explosive storms right now early in the morning. I done bent the crap out of these trying to save those straps. But because I'm gonna stop in Little Rock later, what I plan on doing, stopping in Little Rock, getting a shower, washing my truck, and also taking a nap after how crappy I slept last night. Let's look at how the skies have evolved. All right, so I'm now in Blytheville. It is almost 10 o'clock. We've got some good capping going on, so I don't really think anything is going to come from the weather today. So I'm not in too much of a rush to get out of the area, but I'm still going to get out of the area because of this one simple fact. Futures radar showed us that there's going to be no storms over my head, that it's all going to be focused on Missouri. But we all know that the atmosphere does what the atmosphere wants to do when the atmosphere wants to do it. So that's what I'm anticipating. So we're going to get this coil on. I do have a bit of a line ahead of me. And get out of here ASAP Rocky. And like I said, get that nap in at and Little Rock, since I slept like crap, at least 30 minutes, get my wash and yeah, play it like that. I had to pull over and redo my tarp. It's my first time trying to do a butterfly tarp. I don't know, what do y'all think? Tell me in the comments. First one, I was like, I never did a butterfly tarp before. I'm just gonna try this, like be creative. Creative wasn't working. It was just flopping too much for me. So I pulled over. I don't have my mic on. Creative wasn't working for me. It was flopping too much. So I just pulled over and redid it completely. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. But let's get going. Terminal's next, I believe. Maybe if I still have enough time. All right, so before I lost too much natural light, I wanted to go ahead and bring this to a full circle close, right? So I did have this conversation that I spoke about at the beginning of the video on how I wanted to get more miles, right? The fleet manager I spoke to wasn't my direct fleet manager, but you know, he was very encouraging, right? And looked out for me there. And then the my direct fleet manager throughout the entire course of the week, right? Now, his method of leadership, right, reminds me of mine in the fact that I'm highly aggressive when it comes to leadership tactics, right? Like grab the bull by the horns and wrestle that sucker down, right? Lead from the front. You know, he had, you know, called me, stayed in communication, you know, made sure I was doing good, told me if I just need to talk, I can reach out to him, you know, and that's the kind of things that I tend to gravitate towards. So when we spoke, gained a very high, immense amount of respect for my new fleet manager. Really, really good dude, right? And the fact that I'm ending out the week with the amount of miles that I was able to grab, and I hope I was impressive to him as well. You know, I hope that was a mutual exchange of a working relationship throughout the course of the week, right? I do tend to, like I said in the previous video, every other week I try to go into splits one week and then take it easy the next week so I don't burn myself out. So this is what we did this week, right? We started out in Laredo. From Laredo, picked up that train car, the train yard load, took that up to Paragould, Arkansas. That was 800 something miles right there. From Laredo to Paragould. From Paragould, went over to Blytheville, Arkansas, picked up a steel load out of Blytheville, took that to Dallas, really Grand Prairie, which is between Arlington and Dallas. If you still don't know, it's just between Fort Worth and Dallas, right? From there, I deadheaded up here to Fort Smith. So the load going down to Laredo, from Laredo to Paragould, from Paragould, Arkansas, and I spent the night in Jonesboro that night, to Blytheville, from Blytheville, Dallas, Dallas here, and now about to go back to Laredo. So from what I've heard from previous drivers, once you do get out of transition, your miles do end up picking up, you know, pretty positively. So I'm very excited to continue on. This is going to be excellent, right? And yes, I do thoroughly like this new fleet manager. And like I said, I hope it's mutual, right? If this is the type of content that you like, the content that you enjoy, if you got something out of it, I do ask that you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the like button and let me know that you do like this type of content, right? And I hope we also build a wonderful community. We do have some things coming up, some giveaways and stuff like that. I wanted to start a giveaway already by now. So if I announced that, but some things came up, so be patient with me, right? We're gonna get this giveaway started, but it's not gonna be yet. I didn't get to make that time frame. But anyway, you have ridden with Steel Horse, the legend of the Southwest. God bless.
The barrio. Dum 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 dum.